Hi, this is Bill Lindeman again with Carrie Sluter for the Believers Business Center. And we're here today, and I wanted to mention the last few weeks, we've noticed that the city of Boston has come together like we rarely see. And sometimes it takes a tragedy in an area to make people see what they have in common. And we can apply this to a neighborhood, into the Edison neighborhood or any neighborhood in Kalamazoo or anywhere. When people come together and have a sense of purpose, they can get an awful lot done. And I was, like many people, was very happy to see that. It makes you feel good when people come together. And we have a come together of sorts in the Edison neighborhood. There are a couple of organizations, the Hope Ranch and the Believers Business Center. I know you want to combine your assets, and because you have many of the same goals.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about that? I think that's exciting. It really is.
It's very exciting. We have merged our two companies. We're in the process of the final details of merging the two companies for Hope Ranch and the Believers Business Center, since Vicki and I have been working a lot together on the housing programs, and our programs so help each other.
Yeah.
What she's doing, she has families, she works with youths, I work with adults, families, getting them jobs, and we have office space. So it just is really working well. And like you said, when a community comes together for a crisis,
Yeah.
it shows the love, the support of that community. But we can come together for the same purpose
Yes.
before the crisis.
Before,
You know,
right.
we had talked about that. I think I mentioned that on the show
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, that we wait until there's a crisis and a disaster, and we have a crisis situation in our
Yes.
own backyard. Edison neighborhood, the children that are suffering every day, should be a crisis to us. And the center, the Believers Business Center, is a place where you can collaborate and bring the community in. We can attack that situation and say, what can we do together as a community? Bringing our businesses, bringing our resources, bringing our funding in small amounts. If each person puts in a small amount, you can do a lot within a community in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Especially if you have the volunteers, the interns, the partners or members who are supporting the missions. It becomes a prevention center once we get the crisis down.
Yes.
And it will be a prevention as well as a repair center. We can
Yes.
repair the lives, counseling, coaching. We have rooms and all that. But our merging of the two companies will allow Vicki's program to work in sync with ours more
Right,
with
right.
collaboration and bringing the contracts together. How can it benefit the people more? And so we're really excited about that.
Yes, in fact, Vicki was on the show a few weeks ago.
Yes, she was talking about the Hope Branch.
Yeah, with Adam, who is the founder of the Tree of Life School in
Yes.
Edison.
Yeah.
These are exciting new things that are happening in the neighborhood, and I think a collaboration with the right people, with the right attitude, I think that we can really get things done. And there are other people trying to help the neighborhood. It's not always successful, but to be successful, you have to follow people who are successful, not the people who are not. And the idea is to move forward. And if others can't move forward, we'll just go ahead and do what we have to do.
That's right.
I think you have to have that attitude. You really do. There are too many people suffering, and everybody wants to be happy and live a good life, but they can't always find the way. They don't seem to, nobody's really offering them something that they can work on where they are. And I think that's what we're about, and where we're different, and where we'll succeed. And I'm really happy about this merger.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We leave so much of the biblical teachings in the church. rather than bringing them into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we need a place for application of that.
Yeah.
You know, those scriptures teaching people how to raise their children. And I know we've spoken about this before, but the importance of having a place where the ministries can get involved in the lives of the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Getting right out there and working with them hands-on every day, not just one crisis plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just one day, oh, we're all going to do this mission. Having a mission going every day that anyone can get involved in and be a part of on a daily basis while those people are struggling, before they start struggling, before they hit rock bottom, to be able to step in and counsel them, coach them, get them a job. As a community, you know, tapping into our resources to connect a person to a job before they lose their home. Instead of coming in like a fire rescue team, you know, and, you know, putting on our helmets and all, everybody's going to pitch in and buy them a new home. Well, that's not always the answer. If we showed up with a plan that they could come to prior to the falling, prior to losing their home, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of they've just lost their job. Supporting them until they can get back on their feet as a community, helping them get a job quicker, connecting them to resources or business people we know and saying, this person just lost their job, here's what we know about them, and having them volunteer with us, helping to keep them from losing their home. The preventions. There's so much available for us as a community, and we're children of God. We have Christ in us. We can do all things through Christ which strengthens us. And we wait and come running in to rescue, and, you know, like you say, bringing a community together to help rebuild something that was destroyed.
Yes.
And there's many destructions going on every day, right under our noses. You know, children, the families are losing their homes. They're broken families that don't know how to repair their families. We have a daily place that can work with the families continually before, during, and after the crisis. It doesn't matter. I think a lot of people, there's going to be less falling if there's a place that they can go to and say, what can I do to keep from this? And if it's counseling they need, if they're making bad choices, help them before they get all the way to the nth degree, before they hit the homeless shelter. If there's a place that can work on that prevention a little bit closer, along with job training, skill training, giving them a place to volunteer that gives them inspiration.
Yes.
There's no hope out there for a lot of people, and it's a shame. We're leaving it in the church, which is part of the Living the Promises side of this mission, is teaching people how the ministries need to come out of those churches and come into the marketplace and reminding people that here's what I taught today, here's the application. How can we help you apply it? Are you challenged with this in your life? How can we help? And developing some programs together that will help, you know, to eliminate those issues for people. There's not enough hands-on teachings.
Yeah, things
For me.
pop to mind. You know, the idea of helping people who want to help themselves.
Right. Teaching them how to fish,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah, because we see people making a lot of noise, but they're not doing anything, and they don't seem to want to help themselves. And this is where we have to be strong enough to just ride over that and find people who really want to do something.
Right.
And once people see that they're making an improvement in their lives, that the streets are looking better, the homes are looking better, you can see it in the way people carry themselves. I think once people see that, then you know, a lot of people making noise that aren't doing anything will just have to quietly walk away. I think that's important. You have to be strong.
Well, it's discerning of spirits.
Sure.
We don't have to be doormats
Yeah.
because we're God's children.
Yeah.
We're not doormats. We don't owe someone a living. We owe it to them to speak the word and teach them how to fish
Sure,
for themselves.
sure.
You don't just keep feeding them fish,
Right.
especially when they have not been held accountable.
Right.
And there's really not any programs out there that hold them accountable on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They may have to report for something
Yeah.
to get their check, but in between time, You know, when the volunteers and that they come into the center, there's a lot of them that will come in, get their paper signed, you never see them again. Not a phone call or anything. We can develop some programs that
Right.
will help Michigan Works and the programs that are helping them
Mm-hmm.
to help each other
Mhm.
and hold them accountable at least long enough to where they show up long enough to get inspired and change their mind about their life.
Mm-hmm.
Give them an
Yes.
opportunity to hear a better hope, a better plan, or a better promise, and getting them inspired while they're there. We can do that. If at that point they still choose to, you know, for whatever reasons they have, if they still choose not to change and correct their life and take the opportunities before them, then they can go to the wayside. That's their choice. But eventually, when the help stops, they will start working. If a man don't work, man doesn't eat, according to the word. We make it too easy, and you know,
Yeah.
making that help available. Not that we wouldn't want to help them. We're all Christians. I want to put every homeless person in a home.
Right.
I want to feed every homeless belly.
Right.
I want to save every broken child's family.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do all that without having them wanting to help themselves or giving them a place that will help them to help themselves.
Yeah.
Giving them hope, giving them the tools they need to repair their life every day, if that's what it takes, until they're repaired. So, better plan.
Yeah, well, when you see gang activities and kids that are out of control, you're seeing young people who are looking for something. And the gang, unfortunately, takes the place of what they don't get at home. So they do want somebody to look up to.
Oh,
And
sure.
the tragedy is they're looking up to the wrong people.
Right.
But if the good people are out there doing something and showing them a way to step up, it can be a tremendous improvement. Because youth wants to work hard and wants
Right.
to improve themselves. It's in their nature. So, you know, I think youth is what we have as an advantage rather than a disadvantage.
They're our future. We need to step up and take
Yeah.
that serious
Yeah.
to help them.
Yeah.
The cry for help today, just today, we were in the new house that we have in
Sure,
Washington.
sure.
That will be our step-up house. That will be a home where families that are in transition will be able to stay while they're working through our programs to get them into their own homes. It just breaks your heart. We were looking at a wall today and noticed what was written on that wall. It's colored. The whole wall has writing all over it, pictures drawn, and it's such a cry for help. It will bring tears to see the message coming out of those kids, the plead for help. There was a Bible scripture, a Bible prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. The whole prayer was written on the wall, and two places over there was a picture, and someone's dying, and they're writing about death, and then on the other side was love and hope. And there's another picture on there that had marijuana in the child's hand. And these are kids that are drawing these pictures on that wall.
Sure, sure.
It's a cry for help because you see the hope, you see the love, and you see the Bible scripture,
Yeah.
but yet you see the brokenness of what's going into their minds. How can we help them?
Yeah.
How can we really help them? It's not another church that's going to do it. It's not another church message if those kids are in there writing on the walls instead of in church.
Yeah.
So we need some better systems and better connections to those resources, having people that are working with those kids and reconnecting them to the churches, getting those messages to mean more to them.
Sure.
How do you live them? How do you reach that hope for that child? To make sure that they got it. You know, we don't even know where they moved to. What a
Sure.
shame
Yeah.
to reach in and touch that child's life that wrote that had that inner confusion, if you will. That's confused children who have both sides of that message. There was so much about dying and death, and I die and I die and I die, was written around some of those pictures. And 3 spots over was the Bible scripture.
Yeah, yeah.
So they have a heart for the word, an opening for
Yes.
God. And of course, we're all born with that spark.
Yes.
Every person
Absolutely.
has that spark. It's just whether they hear it from the right person. We need to get so many people in front of those children to where somebody gets to them
Yeah.
before Satan does.
Yeah.
And it's just There's so much more we can do together. As a community, coming together in the marketplace, sharing responsibility for these opportunities. It's not just Hope Ranch's job to correct our children.
Right.
They can only do so much alone.
Mm-hmm.
With the donations, even if it's a hammer. You know, we're out there talking today, planning on, getting this house renovated. First thing we're thinking is we need to go get some hammers. We're pulling our hammers from our homes, trying to get enough hammers for these kids.
Yeah.
And that would be a great thing, just to have those little things that we need to help our program. Takes a lot of the stress off of us of trying to go out and get grants to do that. And they are a nonprofit organization, so it's write-offs for the people through the 501c3. But it's not just a place to put one big grant. It's a place to get a community that can put small amounts and help. If everyone is helping, doing what they can, a little piece at a time, we can do a lot, because there's a lot of people focused on it.
Sure. Well, sometimes the answers to problems they usually are right in front of us, and we just don't see it. You'll notice that in the Amish community, when they need a barn to go up, everybody comes in and puts it up in a day or two.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
that quick. No fighting, no, everybody's having, and they enjoy it, and they're having a great time.
Right.
And why can't that be applied somewhere else? Why does it
Right.
have to be only in a little tiny little community?
We've left that in our past, and it worked.
Sure.
It was the greatest way to get anything done and accomplished. And I've been down there at the Believers Business Center for 6 years, building and renovating and putting in ceramic tile myself, on my knees cutting those tiles.
Sure.
How much more could have been done by now?
Yeah. If there were 100 hands or 1,000
if there were 100
hands.
hands, but to get that message out there took a while to really get the plan together too. So
Sure.
we still need classrooms. We need, the roof slowed us down a lot down there. That's been a big holdup for us. But how many people can we help if we have a classroom in Edison that's teaching different trades and different skills?
Yes.
Some of those people are not prepared for college. We could be the place that prepares them to go to the college.
Sure. Oh,
That helps them to raise those kids up and get them to want to do better in school. We have after-school programs down there, and right now we're trying to cram everybody into, as you've seen, one room that has different settings and areas.
Yeah.
We have some other space, but it's not adequate. We had to shut it down in the winter because it wasn't, because of the heat issues. So it's a shame to have all that space there and nothing going on in it.
Yeah.
So we're really looking to get more people partnering and sponsoring us and supporting the missions of us, so that we can keep doing more, even renovating the houses. We have 3 houses going now with Hope Ranch does. So the 3 houses, as they get done, those are going to be homes for families who are in other classes, rehabilitations. Their youths are in programs that are teaching their kids how to be children, how to respect their parents.
Sure.
So we teach people how to raise their children up in their nurture and admonition of the Lord. It's one thing to hear that, but when you're faced with a challenge of a child who is already disobedient and an ex that's saying, well, I'm not going to show up, how do you pull that into balance and really take control to get rid, to undo the damage that's already done or correct it?
Well, I see miracles happening. In fact, we had 2 miracles in here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah?
Vicki and Adam.
Yeah.
Vicki with the Hope Ranch and Adam with the Tree of Life School. I mean, these are people that have startups starting with nothing and have going things. They're a beautiful new school in the Tree of Life School, and Bryant and Cameron and the Hope Ranch. There's 2 or 3 locations now right in the Edison community fixing up houses. It's just the start. There's 2 little miracles. So I see it happening.
Yes.
And, you see, these streets in Edison used to be beautiful streets, and they will be again.
Yes, they will.
It's heartbreaking to see abandoned homes and boarded up homes.
Oh, they're
You see
on
it so
every
much.
corner.
Yeah.
they're everywhere down there.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that, that there's not more being done about it.
Yeah.
We can only do so much. Just last week, we were short $2,000.
Uh-huh.
$2,000 can put a family in a home and help our mission. We did land that, we did get that home taken care of.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was through funds that we really are still gonna owe back. But we're doing, Vicki and I are doing everything we can to make this keep going in the process. But it takes a lot of time, as you know, writing grants for that. And if the community just supports with small amounts, it would make a big difference. It's like, you know, going in for a fire rescue, you know, or that total destruction. This is a crisis situation. There's high crime. There's so many youths that are in the prisons, incarcerated. I mean, it's just unlimited destruction and falling down there. And it's trickling out into the other communities. It's just real focused down there because it is so bad. And nobody's coming in to really do something about it, to say enough. This has gone far enough and long enough. It's been years since there's been a major change down there. So now we have the school, we have Hope Ranch, we have Believers Business Center. We need other people to come in and join us, bringing their business skills, bringing whatever they can to join us. There's more benefited in it for them in this package that took 6 years to create. There's more benefit in it to them for supporting us than what it's going to cost them to support us. And it's amazing. There's advertisement packages that they have benefits coming back to them for every penny is being invested back into the community.
I know we really need to work together.
Yes, we do.
There are a lot of churches in Kalamazoo, but apparently we're not working together. The reason I can give you an example, I have a friend who was in a position of authority at one of the largest businesses in Kalamazoo, if not the largest business. And he talked to someone who had just become the CEO, the head of the whole corporation. And he asked him about, how are things going? And he says, I don't have a clue as to what's going on. The reason is every little department had its own little fiefdom, and they were protecting their own. And sadly, I can see the same thing with a lot of churches. They all have their little fiefdoms and their little programs, but they're not working together. And this is the tragedy. If they work together, we could get something done
Names
very
are
quickly.
separating us.
Very quickly. And
Names
we don't
are
have to mention any names. There's
Right.
no reason to.
Right, there's not. We're God's kids,
Yeah, sure.
and we're all in the same world, same mission.
So if all these organizations would work together, it would change overnight.
Overnight.
So we have to do it. If they're not going to do it, we have to do it.
Believers Business
Sure.
Center is non-denominational.
That's right.
We're open to all
Right,
ministries,
right.
connecting through the marketplace.
Yeah.
There's not a marketplace ministry.
Yeah.
We talk about training people to be marketplace ministers.
Sure.
We do training, but there's no place for them to go out and actually put that to work
Yeah, yeah,
in a marketplace where there's all the different walks of life
yeah.
in one place.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of work to do, and there's plenty of young people and people of all ages who want to change and make a difference. And if we work together, like those Amish that want to build that barn overnight, we can fix a house overnight.
Right, we can fix Edison overnight with
sure.
the right help.
I mean, the Habitat for Humanity has a house that they do that once a year. They build one virtually overnight.
Right.
And I think that's a model that we can use, that we could look forward to using more and more. And,
If a million people put in a dollar,
Sure.
you have $1 million to
sure,
work
many
with.
hands make light work.
That's right, that's right. Work
Yeah.
harder, work smarter, not harder.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
We need to work smarter, not harder.
And all of these things are right in front of us. They've always have been. We're
Yeah.
just not using them.
Yeah, and less is more.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you have more people putting in less, rather than just those, everyone having to go for the big grants or constantly
Sure,
pursuing
sure.
more funds. If everyone just consistently kept a bank going of small amounts for, using those, using the programs, it would cause the prevention to kick in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what we have to offer, more so than what I see out there, is a prevention,
Mm-hmm.
because it's continual. It will always be there. After this for crisis, it will be there before the next one happens.
Sure. Yeah.
To be working already
Yeah.
on preventing the next one, so for
Mhm.
the families
Yeah.
and the struggling, the people that are struggling out there.
And I might want to say, I have a lot of confidence in you and the Believers Business Center because you have run a successful business for many years. You know how to run a successful business.
Right out of school, I
Yeah, yeah.
didn't even know what I was doing. It just came natural to me, and I
Yeah.
know now that God was preparing me
Yeah.
to help others with
Yeah.
all the things that He's put in my lap
Yeah.
to do. They were all learning experiences so that I can help others and know how to design the center to help,
Sure.
to really help that
Sure.
business person. I know what the business person needs,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
all in there. It's all in the plans.
And of course, your plans are biblically based, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
The
And a few weeks
foundation.
ago, we had Dennis Jockola did a presentation at the Believers Business Center about attaining health through the Bible and what it promises. And these are things that, again, they're in front of us, right in front of us. All we have to do is take advantage of them and use them.
Right, we need
Yeah.
hundreds of people out there from the churches that have that information,
Yeah.
have the knowledge to share the scriptures, to
Mhm.
come in and help, using the programs that we have set up to teach
Mhm.
people their skills and give them knowledge.
Sure.
Share that information,
Yeah.
give them a spark, give them a hope, give them a
Yeah,
future.
yeah. Because there are always new churches starting up, and that proves that there are people who want to join something new and get something done and want a new life. So people are constantly doing that. There's a constant. It's built into the human race to want to improve and to want to do better. We just have to put the right businesses together, the right attitudes, and make it work. And I think we're coming close to that.
Yes,
I
we
really
are.
feel it. We're
Yeah.
coming close to it.
Well, the Bible says to be doers of the word and not
Yes.
hearers only,
Yes.
deceiving your own selves.
Yes.
If we're just hearing the word and we're not being a doer,
Mhm.
we're not out there lifting up that person,
Mhm.
taking them into town, reaching in our pocket and saying, here,
Mhm.
take care of this person.
Yeah.
That's the being a doer.
Mhm.
It's easy to
Sure.
hear and have itchy ears, as the Bible talks about, the
Yeah.
itchy ears.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing
Mhm.
it. Well, if we're not actually physically doing it for other people,
Mhm.
not only just ourselves,
Mhm.
it's one thing to pray for your own family, but how many people are really the doer that says they're praying for their enemy
Mhm.
on purpose,
Mhm.
forcing themselves to think about the struggling person? When you're driving down the road and someone, pulls out in front of you, rather than criticizing, getting angry, praying for that person.
Mhm.
How many people are really practicing that?
Yeah.
The Bible talks about exercising thyself rather unto godliness. For
Mhm.
bodily exercise profits little, but spiritual exercise profits much.
Yeah.
Spiritual exercise is when you're working that Bible and actually working the
Yeah.
Word every day, using it. We get stronger and stronger the more we use the Word of God to change our mind, reckoning the old man dead. It's
Sure.
all about using the Scriptures to
Well,
change our lives.
What a wonderful note to end on.
Yeah.
Because I hope you enjoyed the show. Another inspiring show with Carrie Sluter and the Believers Business Center. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.